Welcome back to Music City, USA, the Bridgestone Arena. The Hawks and the Preds for the third time this season. And in the Ford goaltending matchup, we got 13 feet of netminder in this game tonight. 6'6" Scott Darling on the left. 6'5" Pekka Rinne on the right. Darling last appeared with the Blackhawks 5 weeks ago. And Pekka Rinne has been a huge workhorse for Nashville as we get this one underway. Brandon Saad able to move it out to center, and there goes Hossa. He steps in, Taves heading for the net. Quick shot is blocked by Josi. Hossa gets it back and finds an open Duncan Keith, who tried a long shot that came right back to him. Keith again, Rinne gloves.
And this first period is brought to you by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Honda dealers. We also like to welcome those tuning in on CSN Northwest.
Talk about that man, the workhorse for the Nashville Predators. The Nashville team has 17 wins. He's got all of them. This is his 7th consecutive start. There have only been 3 games that he has not played in. This is game number 26 for the Predators this year, and he's never been lifted. I mean, he's finished every game that he started, so he's been the man here in Nashville after the serious injury that kept him out for so long last season. He's back, and they're loving the fact that he is, and why wouldn't they? One of the best in the game.
Yeah, sure is. Keep an eye on Pat. He's not very good at handling the puck.
Here's a quick shot. Oh, and Richard just missed the far post on a good setup from Kane. Now here's a near steal. They do get it. Ribeiro's pass. Oh, and a good block of the feed by Hjalmarsson. Kane on the counter. He finds Versteeg. Kane to the net. Versteeg trying to get the puck there. It was out of his reach. And now into the corner. Hossa jammed at it. It's picked up by Versteeg. He cleared it to Richards. Brad Richards back to the line. Kane chipped it towards the middle. That one picked off. And Ekholm spins back for the Preds.
Just finish that thought on Rinne, Pat. I mean, it's an adventure when he plays the puck. That's probably the best way to put it. He likes to play the puck. He likes to get in behind the net and play the puck. Something for the Blackhawks to keep an eye on.
So Brian Bickle, you can see, got a stick or something, an elbow up high, it looked like. And Mike Gabsky being assisted off the Hawks bench to come across. And Bickle's been opened up.
I'm surprised why this wasn't a penalty here, Pat. This was well after. This was well after the opportunity as the puck was cleared down. And
that's not the follow-through of a shot or a pass.
Not at all. Not at all. That's Rule 60.1 when you follow through off a shot or a pass and you make contact with somebody like that. And that's what Joel Quenneville is asking the official about. But clearly it was well after. We will stay at even strength.
All right, the Preds are able to clear it back into the Hawks zone. Your AT&T Uber starting lines, you can be able to locate them at the top of your screen. Here's a turnover, Wilson. Checked by Keith right away. Good recovery by Duncan Keith after the Hawks turned the puck over.
Second time, Pat. Now the Hawks have turned the puck over in their own zone there. Same area of the ice.
Now here's Keith spinning back. And by the way, I'm not sure if you saw, but Brian Bickle did go right off to the Blackhawks dressing room. He will need some repair work after the errant high stick that looked like it should have been a penalty, but was not ruled to be such. Now here's a loose puck picked up by Smith. Greg Smith, checked by Keith. And behind it goes. Now dug out of there, Jokinen. I should say Wilson, sorry. He put it in behind. There's Smith. Greg Smith rolled it back. Josi's long shot. And a save by Darling. He's able to hang on to it. Well, Eddie, for some reason, it was a little bit unusual last night. After the game the Hawks played against Montreal, it seemed to take a little bit longer to leave the city of Chicago than it typically does. And we didn't get to the hotel here in Nashville until 2 in the morning. And I'm only going to tell you this story because it's a fact. It's not an excuse in any way. The firearm alarm went off in the hotel at 4:30 in the morning. How you doing? So just when everybody finally probably got into the deep sleep part of it, all of a sudden the buzzers are going off and the instructions are being given to clear the hotel and don't use the elevator, get in the stairway, and all that stuff. So anyway, it's if there's a few miscues early on, I won't be surprised. Here's a long shot. Darling gloving and holding. Game got underway very quickly. We've not been able to identify the officials. Kyle Raymond, Dan O'Halloran are the referees. There's Danny. And the linesmen, Don Henderson and Brad Kovacic.
Well, I kept hitting my Blueberry at that time in the morning because I thought something was wrong with my phone. Yeah, that was a welcome to Music City wake-up call for sure.
Now, it's not the first time I've been up at 4:30 in the morning in Nashville, but here's Klaus Dahlbeck, 44 and white. You saw him in his first NHL shift. There, the puck up the boards, and here comes Nordstrom. Dahlbeck's open. He's got the pass. Dahlbeck sent it. Nordstrom, oh, and he chipped it just wide. The first shift of his career for Dahlbeck, and he nearly gave a tap-in to Nordstrom.
Boy, what a play there by Seth Jones, Pat. What a play by Seth Jones to deny the wide-open opportunity for Joakim Nordstrom. Watch the stick of 3 yellow. There's Nordstrom. He's going right there. And Jones with stick on puck, stick on the ice, denies a wide-open net and the opportunity for Joakim Nordstrom.
Meanwhile, a Bartley penalty. And the Hawks on the first power play of the game. The Preds get the draw and clear it. This, by the way, Eddie, the 108th power play of the year for the Blackhawks. They've got more than any other team in the league. So this puck possession Hawks team, with all the skill they possess, have drawn more penalties than any other club to this point. And in fact, they got 30 more power plays than the Nashville Predators had.
A bit of a different look here on this power play, Pat. You got Richards out here with the #1 unit on the point with Duncan Keith.
That pass was at the feet of Kane, though, and Bartley hammered it up the boards. Kept in Richards. Across for Keith. Now Taves. Jonathan Taves rings it around. Kane's on that side. Patrick Kane with 16 points in his last 10 games. Now here's Richards. Looking back to Kane, it missed him. Then Versteeg was checked off the puck. Retrieved back to Richards. He'll look to Taves, who moves to the middle. Taves for Kane. He sent it. Oh, Keith was backdoor. The pass was tipped, though, and winds up back at center.
That went off of Ryan Ellis, 4 in yellow, standing right in front of Pekka Rinne.
And meanwhile, Jarnkrok took a run at Kane as he was leaving the ice. Kane managed to avoid most of the contact. But Jarnkrok had one thing in mind right there and wanted to put him into the bench awkwardly. Here's Hossa with a long shot. Rinne gloves and holds.
Well, you mentioned that play in front of the Blackhawk bench, Pat, and it's time now for our BMO Harris Bank check replay. Jarnkrok going for the big hit on Patrick Kane. He says, no, not right now. I'm going to put you right down on your wallet right in front of the Blackhawk bench, and going to be at least one hit in the stats column for 88.
All right, now here's Roosevelt. Across Seabrook. Backdoors Hossa. Seabrook couldn't get the puck through all the traffic, though, and the Preds, Nystrom able to get it out of there. Now Seabrook, as the penalty time winds down. Here's Hossa, then Roosevelt. Both teams full strength here. Hossa's back of the net. Looking for Saad. The pass did not connect with a quick shot. Oh, good save by Rinne on a point-blank bid by Shaw. Hawks looking to change on the move as Seabrook over to the Nashville ice. Now Forsberg. Pass broken up. Kruger got it out. Preds dump it in, but that's up off the netting, and the whistle goes.
I think the mindset has to be, Pat, like what happened last night with Carey Price. Goaltender down, you got to get elevation, and this is a real good chance here for Andrew Shaw. The right pad save. Got to hold on to that puck a second longer. Rinne will go down. Even though the big frame, Pat gave the measurements of both goaltenders here tonight. So hold on to that puck, wait, and get that opportunity to throw those hands up towards the crossbar.
Greg Smith fights through a check, but Kane got in the way of his pass attempt. Chalmerson turned it over as Wilson goes into the corner, then got it back. Colin Wilson, quick shot, good save by Darling. And the rebound to Hjalmarsson. Able to backhand it to center. Reds misfire on a pass. It's taken by Oduya. Johnny Oduya was a -2 last night. Now able to move this ahead, but missed Kane. It's going to go all the way down, icing Chicago. So we can remind you, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in the game tonight, brought to you by Miller Lite.
Hey, Pat, a very special happy belated birthday to 97-year-old Henry Frankel.
All right.
Big Blackhawk fan for a long, long time. And we rest up during the days. And the Hawks have games at night, so certainly has his priorities in check.
Attaboy, Hank.
That's it.
All right, now Seabrook to Kane, who's able to safely clear it. Ryan Ellis moved it back into the Hawk zone, taken by Seabrook. Saad put it ahead, chased down by Taves. He moves in on Yossi. Jonathan Taves centered it, quick shot, Hossa. And then it was an awkward move by Rene, but the puck went wide. And back come the Preds. Rush jammed up, though, by Rosabal. Then Keith. Forced to turn by Neal. Support from Saad. But the Preds still get the puck. There's Ribeiro going back to Weber. Well covered by Taves. He's going to steal. Taves looking to chase it down. Drive in the net. Shooting. Rene, the save. He holds. All right, 7 minutes have been played here in the first period. We're scoreless in Nashville.
You can follow Tracy Myers, our Blackhawks insider, all season long on CSNChicago.com, presented by Nationwide's Jeff Vukovich. Click jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side. Well, Mike Ribeiro trying to get that puck to Shea Weber back at the point. Little bit too far for Jonathan Taves to get a clear-cut breakaway. But Taves looking like he wanted to try to go 5-hole on the ice.
Now Versteeg working in the corner. Got turned around by Ekholm, but he held the puck. Versteeg rolled it back to Chalmers, and he'll look to Oduya, who moves in with a shot into the glove of Rene. And good news for Brian Bickle and the Chicago Blackhawks. He's been able to return after a little bit of repair work as a high stick came up and got him. Maybe only missed one shift, so great to see Big 29 back on the Hawks bench.
Can't tell if he had any sutures there or not, Pat. They also have some surgical glue there that stopped the...
Well, they didn't have to go to the masking tape, so that's good.
That is always good. I mean, when they start putting hockey tape on your face, then you know you have a really issue. So I know they do make that surgical glue in chapstick form.
Okay.
A stocking stuffer for some people.
Taylor Beck dumps it in for the Preds. Long shot, Fisher. Good save, Darling. He gave up a rebound. Then he made a second save. Then Ellis. What a save by Darling again. He made 3 dandies in that sequence, and Dahlbeck got it out. Oh, Scott Darling, that's the first flurry for Nashville 8 minutes in. But a couple of dandy point-blank saves right there with a big 25-year-old. Now Weber needs help to clear it to the Hawk zone. Oduya getting back. Jostled by Cullen in the corner. Puck squirts loose. Quick shot. Walking away. Darling. Then Yossi. Put it in behind. It jumped away from Cullen. And Oduya able to chip it to center ice. Ruger battles his way ahead there. It's help from Nordstrom. Reds get it back, but misfire on a pass. Seabrook. Good pass ahead. Smith was stationary, though, when it arrived, and Jones trying to take it away. Now Nordstrom winning a corner battle. He dropped it out. Here's Keith across to Seabrook. Again, Keith, a long clip shot. The puck was fluttering around. An attempt by Nordstrom went wide. Forsberg got it out for the Preds.
Nordstrom's had 2 good chances here in the first period. Joe Quenneville rolling 4 lines. Quick turnaround. Game last night at the United Center, 7:30. You mentioned the travel. And a 6 o'clock start here tonight. Joe Quenneville getting 4 lines into it.
Hjalmarsson goes up the boards. Carcillo has to drop it back. Shaw stripped of it by Neal. Then Ribeiro takes a look. He finds the late man. Here's Ekholm. Couldn't get a lot on that opportunity. Shot it wide. And the Preds try to keep it in. Carcillo managed to one-hand it to the line. And then a big hit by Shaw just put James Neal right into the Hawk bench. Here's a long blast into the glove of Darling. And now Carcillo in a stare down with Ekholm, who didn't want anything to do with that. But Andrew Shaw had James Neal lined up and corked him. Gave him a little how do you do? Say hello to my little friends.
Time now for our GMC professional grade saves, and Scott Darling, the Chicago kid, a couple of real good stops here. The shot from Fisher, pretty simple play. Nystrom had a chance, and then the opportunity for Ryan Ellis, a defenseman, jumping into the play on the backhand. Taking up a lot of net there, Scott Darling. A real good start to this game. The Blackhawks officially batting 3 defensive zone turnovers so far in this third period. So first 2 and had 2 in the first, 5 minutes probably now, and had another one here. So something the Hawks are going to have to clean up. You want to exit the zone, try to go tape to tape, but sometimes it's okay to go off the glass and just flip it out of the zone, just like that play by Niklas Hjalmarsson.
Wilson with a chip and chase on Hjalmarsson. And Smith. Able to knock it away from Smith, but it didn't get out. Here's Craig Smith for the Preds. In behind Wilson. Fred Smith rolled it up the boards, picked off by Ben Smith. And he scored a goal last night after going 19 games without one. You could tell in Ben Smith's comments after the game, quite a relief that finally got one in, because as we said before, there's a guy that, numbers don't tell the story what he brings to this team.
A real versatile player. Player that certainly knows his role, and I think we could see the expression on his face last night, Pat, after he put that puck into the net.
Right now, the Preds, Ellis takes a look. He's had to bounce it forward. Seabrook there to Keith. A 4-game point streak on the line here for Brad Richards. He got it to Keith, who fired a hot shot from long range. Richards' pass then was picked off. Bourque going to take an icing call unless Cullen can get there. That won't happen. The whistle goes.
Speaking of Duncan Keith, Dunk will hold a charity concert benefiting Keith Relief on Tuesday, January 13th at Joe's Bar on Weed Street in Chicago, featuring country music, act Eli Young Band. All proceeds will benefit Keith Relief and Ronald McDonald House Charities. VIP tickets are on sale now at DuncanKeith.com.
Taves wins a draw, but Hossa couldn't get rid of the shot. And Olli Jokinen rolled it to center. Taves, bank pass finds Hossa. He was checked by Ekholm. Puck held in. Here's Dahlbeck, a shot. Whoa, save! And Dahlbeck got a lot on that wrist shot. It was a high riser that Rene managed to snare.
A couple of good positive shifts for Claus Dahlbeck. Mentioned that pass, showed everybody that pass he made to Joakim Nordstrom earlier in his very first shift in the National Hockey League, and here he gets a good wrister off and forces Pekka Rinne with a save. Talked to Stan Bowman, the general manager of the Blackhawks, before the game, Pat, and telling us just Dahlbeck's a real good skater, more of a stay-at-home type of defenseman, but he can create and generate some offense when it's there, and so far we've seen that early in the first.
And Quenneville added that he can bring a physical element to the game, too. He doesn't No, he's looking for hits, but he's a big enough guy that he can take a pretty good piece of it. Saad now spins it back, and the late man is Oduya. He couldn't hold the pass, though. And the Preds clear it out.
Taking a run at this already, center ice.
Wilson just saw him the very last second, managed to sidestep the hit attempt.
See that play there?
But he came with bad intention right there.
Yeah, sure did. See Rene going for that puck bat and was up around the glass.
Yes. Right now, Ben Smith, the Preds trying to change. Smith looking to drive in. His pass didn't get to Nordstrom. A potential scoring opportunity went by the wayside. Now the Preds, Ribeiro dropped it back. Neal with a ring around. Ribeiro couldn't pick it up. Ben Smith is checked along the wall, but Hawks maintain the puck, and now a bank pass just out of the reach of Keith. Rene played it to the boards. Held in Kruger. Bounced it to the other side. Bartley for the Predators. Able to clear it to center. Ribeiro put it in. Neal's wrist shot blocked by Seabrook. It's up and out of play.
Talked about that near hit at center ice. Well, first off, Johnny Oduya gets run at, and then right in behind, you see Nystrom taking a run at Marian Hossa after he got the puck at center ice. Well, that more physicality partner from the Nashville Predators since that hit by Andrew Shaw on James Neal and dumping him into the Blackhawks bench there.
Sorry, buddy. In the first two games, as it usually happens, the Preds had a hit edge on the Hawks, but not hugely dramatic. They were credited with 47 hits, the Hawks 35 in the first two meetings this season. Mattias Ekholm fires it off the glass. It bounced to Wilson. That's really to be an offside play.
Well, Thursday, hang out with Comcast Sportsnet and watch Chicago take on Boston during the Coors Light viewing party at Heroes West in Joliet. That's Thursday at 6 p.m.
Talk a little bit about Klaus Dahlbeck. Eddie, 23 years of age, third-round pick a couple of years ago for the Hawks. And he's a guy getting a look. I mean, clearly that number 6 defenseman position is one that several guys have had a chance at up till now. And I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that there might be another guy or two get a look before the season ends.
And also the health aspect, obviously, of TVR being out.
Well, that's the big thing.
Right. So now it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity for Clendening and Dahlbeck. Maybe at some point here down the road, and continuing that conversation that we had with Stan Bowman before the game, Pat, of really a strength of Teddy Dent's team down in Rockford in the American Hockey League is the back end. So, lots of opportunities, and you just never know when you're going to get that tap on the shoulder and say, hey, there's an opportunity to come up to the big club.
The promising youngster Johns is down there. The veteran Comiskey's down there. They'd like the way Brennan has played. So there's a bunch of guys who are in the radar, or on the radar screen at least, and I don't think it'd be too surprising with the lengthy time that TVR is going to be gone. A couple of guys might get a little look for Coach Q.
Yeah, and you can never underestimate the aspect of getting those guys, Pat, some games, getting them some reps, because you get to the end of the year and you get to playoff hockey, you got to be able to have the confidence of the coaching staff that you can tap that guy on the shoulder, maybe after sitting out for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, to come in and get put into a situation. And that goes for every position. But I think even more so, Pat, for defensemen, because you know what your role is going to be on this team. You're going to be in there in that 6, 7, 8 defenseman.
It's been said for many, many years, and don't you agree that that position is the hardest to learn in the game? Especially, when you get to this level, I mean, it's...
and if you have the depth, you can protect those young players, and certainly that's what the Hawks did with TVR early, and you saw them reap the benefits of how well Trevor Van Riemsdyk was playing right before he got hurt.
Now the Preds able to get out of their own end. Rush broken up though by Keith. Storming back in his Saad. He shoots. He scores! Brandon Saad! After Duncan Keith created a turnover at center ice. Saad finished. He's finished the scoring last night. He opens the scoring tonight. The Hawks with the lead.
Well, real scrambly play here the last probably 90 seconds or so. And Brandon Saad gets outside. Patty goes straight in and just blows this puck over the shoulder. Good forced turnover. Great play, as you mentioned, by Duncan Keith. Brandon Saad goes top shelf on Pekka Rinne. Pat, what did we talk about earlier? Pekka Rinne, where do you got to shoot on him?
Yeah.
He's going to be down on his knees. Hold on to that puck a second. Wait. And as he's on his way down, you go upstairs. And what a perfect shot. Yeah, palms up for Brandon Saad. Must have been tuned into the pregame show, partner.
Well, now a 4-game scoring streak for Brandon Saad. 4 games with points. He's got 3 goals in his last 4 games. And now 6 for the year. By Nordstrom. Got checked by Seth Jones on the boards. And the Preds able to come up with it. And Jalmerson got together. Awkward fall for Nick Jalmerson. He's shaken up. Now Ribeiro's in behind. Jalmerson back in the play here. Here's a Jones. Looking for a lane. His long shot went wide. Now Neal. His shot. Good block out in front. Oduya, or I should say Smith. Sorry, Ben Smith. Saved a headache for his netminder with a good shot block from point-blank range on a dangerous sniper. That could have tied the game, but it didn't. And the lead provided by that man, 20 in white.
Well, from our Xfinity telestrator, there's Nicholas Jalmerson. We talked about the hit that he took into the corner. I mean, and the defenseman Bartley just pushes Nicholas Jalmerson right in the center of the back, and that's a dangerous play there. And you see the position that Jalmerson was in there. And you mentioned it, Pat. He popped right back up.
Well, Nick Jalmerson, who has just been on a remarkable, I'll call it a tear, because it just, usually you use that word when you talk about offense, but he has been spectacular defensively all season long. He's now been a plus 14 in his last 12 games. So, and again, when you're playing against the other guy's best line every night, that's a pretty solid number.
Those are lofty numbers for sure. Those are NHL All-Star, first or second team in the league. Just the willingness and the ability that he has, Pat, to defend, but also, and it's not by accident that he blocks so many shots either. And he just knows when the offensive player is going to have that release point and put himself in a position to deny. And it's one of the reasons why this Blackhawk team is so good defensively, and also the specialty teams too, Pat, the penalty kill. You got to have shot block. You got to have a save for sure. You got to have your goaltender be the best penalty killer. But a guy like Jalmerson is certainly an important part of that.
Richards had tried to go back door, the pass broken up before it reached Kane. He's got it again. Patrick Kane steps in. Versteeg looks back towards Kane. Left it for Richards. But nobody could pick it up, and back come the Preds. Bourque into the Hawk zone, centered a quick shot. Choked up by Darling. Bourque was right there looking for a rebound on the Cullen bid. But a good save by Scott Darling.
Well, tune in tonight for a brand new episode of Blackhawks All Access. Step off the ice and go behind the scenes with your favorite team tonight after Hawks Postgame Live.
The draw, won by the Preds. Weber, a long wrist shot blocked. Then Cullen taken down, penalty Chicago. And the whistle goes. Well, that you probably classify as a good penalty. That was going to be a really good scoring chance for Matt Cullen, and Rosenthal took him to the deck.
Yeah, the fourth line for the Predators generates off a face-off win. Shea Weber didn't take the big slap shot, Pat. He just wristed the puck, and there you see Matt Cullen getting taken down by Michael Rosenthal. So a late power play chance for the Predators, down one in the first.
Rosenthal sends the Preds to their first power play tonight. Duncan Keith last night in that game, in a 60-minute game, was on the ice for 29 minutes. So basically half the game. That's the first time he's played that much in a 3-period game in a couple of years, since February of 2012. So Keith continues his tireless efforts on a nightly basis. And again, for a pretty large percentage of the game the Hawks play, they're usually 5 deep men that are playing. So he's a big part of that workforce and gets the most minutes every night. And he was a huge factor again less than 24 hours ago. Reds on their first power play, and this unit has had a lot of troubles of late. Not a goal in 6 games. They've been snuffed out 20 in a row, the Nashville power play. That dump in goes out of play. And by the way, I'm sure Dave Ross showed you the numbers for the Hawks PK, which has just been spectacular all season long. But when you look at it, the Hawks, I mean, last year, the best PK team in the league was at 86%. And the Hawks are at 91 coming into the game tonight. So they are almost 1/3 of the way through the season, and they are so far blown away the league-leading PK team of a year ago, percentage-wise. Seth Jones with a keep. Now a rink-wide pass, Ribeiro. Jones put it across. Here's a long shot. Ellis that went up high. And Taves couldn't quite get there. Now with a second chance, he backhands it out of the zone. 2 minutes left in the period. A minute for the Nashville power play. As Oduya on his second opportunity hacked it down the length. Dropped it back. Craig Smith. Ryan Ellis. They don't want to dump it in. Trying to carry. Now that happens. Jones had his pass come back to him. They're ringing around. It's picked off by Keith with a great stick. Duncan Keith. That was a neat steal on a difficult chance. Back in Wilson. Trying to pass it to himself around Keith. That didn't work out. Then Neal picked it up. Cleared it along the board. Ribeiro. Now they get a man going backdoor, but he goes out to the line. Long shot, Weber, and a save by Darling. As the penalty expires, both teams full strength with a minute to go in the first.
Good job there from the Hawks defenseman in front of the net, Pat. Not allowing a screenshot there off of Shea Weber, but as you mentioned, Pat, the good stick of Duncan Keith. Stick in a position to be able to take away that pass. Predators trying to change sides, relieve the pressure of the Blackhawks penalty killers. And that's one of the many, many reasons why this penalty kill has been so good all season long. Just players in the right position.
Here's a long flip shot. Darling seemed to have a pretty good look at that. Able to hang on. Roman Josi among the league leaders in ice time, and he is that because he's paired up with Shea Weber. Josi at about 26.5 minutes a game. That's 5th in the league. Weber is at 27 minutes a night on average. That's 4th in the NHL. Josi's long clipper, a bouncing puck went just wide. Fisher's in behind. He finds Weber. Now Philip Forsberg, just 20 years of age, a great young star. Forsberg had it knocked away, and it's good play finds Versteeg, who has some skating room. Cleared it into Nashville territory. Josi looks for Fisher. Bats it back into the Hawks zone, short of center when he did. An icing will be called, so the Hawks with an offensive zone draw. and a good amount of time to work with. The second coach in the 16th year of the Nashville franchise. Right now the draw. Roosevelt fired a long shot, blocked Fisher. Held in Carcillo. Goes the other way to Bickle. His pass is picked off by Neal. He chipped it in. The Predators are run out of time, and the first period ends with Nashville having 13 shots, the Blackhawks 10. And Eddie, I think, you know, there might have been a couple of struggles early, but for a team that played last night and then had the difficult scenario of a fire alarm going off right in the middle of the night, I think that was an impressive opening frame for the visitors tonight.
They were ready to go right from the drop of the puck, no question about it.
So the Hawks on a Brandon Saad tally, able to grab the lead 20 minutes in. Some physicality throughout. And it was the 6th of the year from Brandon Saad that staked the Hawks to the advantage. Welcome back here to Music City, USA. Brandon Saad's goal, the only one in the game so far as we get ready for the second period. Before that starts, we get a chance to tell you about a local legend here. That gentleman between JT and Clint is a gentleman named Craig Baugh, and he's affectionately known here in these parts as Partner. He's actually been here since the franchise started as the visiting locker room attendant, so he helps out all the visiting teams that comes in here. He is a beloved figure in Nashville. He actually was on a Christmas float the other day in the Christmas parade, and he was the star of the parade. They love him here in Nashville. The Chicago Blackhawks players taped a birthday shout-out to him on Tuesday, and this morning, Clint Reif and Troy Parchment, the equipment guys, presented Partner with a gift purchased through player and coaches' contributions from all the members of the Chicago Blackhawks. And for all the teams he helps, he says that Partner says that the Blackhawks are his second favorite team. Of course, he has to say the Predators are first. He is an interesting cat. He's a wonderful guy. I know you've had a lot of experiences with him, like we all have. When you come to Nashville, you're always looking forward to seeing what's going to happen when you meet up with Partner.
Yeah, he's a fixture, as you mentioned, Pat, and I just know over the years of coming here as a player and as a coach, I know when I was here with the Pittsburgh Penguins, we had Partner come to our pregame meal at the hotel with us and spend the day with us, and I know a lot of teams do that, so a great gesture on behalf of the entire Blackhawk organization, and always good to see Partner here at the games.
And really, I mean, once again, another example of the Blackhawks doing things right. I mean, here's a guy, you know, he's a locker room helper kind of guy, and you see him everywhere you go. There's different local folks who try to help the visiting teams, but he's become ingrained sort of in some of the culture, and the Blackhawks realizing that it was going to be his 50th birthday, a big milestone for him, and they said, let's do something for this guy, you know? I mean, how many teams would do that? I think it's safe to say less than half of the NHL teams would even think about it.
Yeah, and always try to explain to young hockey players, Pat, is that the trainers are your lifeline. And they'll help you whatever you need, regardless. And walk forever with those guys. They take care of you, the hours, everything that goes on a daily and nightly basis. And the second period is brought to you by Chevy and ChevyDriveChicago.com. And for all those people watching at CSN Northwest, I'd like to welcome them in.
All right, now the draw. Emerson goes up the boards. It's held in. A long flip shot never got through Richards. Out comes Kane. Patrick Kane gets the line. Forgot the puck, though, and now the Predators on the counterattack. Philip Forsberg could not get away from Hjalmarsson. A fine defensive play there. And now Nick Hjalmarsson will just safely clear it to center ice. It bounced around, and eventually it's picked up by Richards with a long flip shot.
I was going to say stick a fork in it because it was going everywhere in the middle of the ice. Now we have another icing. We've seen a lot of this type of play, Pat, and I think it certainly plays into the Blackhawks' favor. I think you can kind of read in between the lines when interviewed Brandon Saad in that first intermission that, hey, tough turnaround, earlier start, 2 games in less than 24 hours. Seen a lot of that type of play, Pat, where just guys not real crisp, not a lot of room, first off, but not a lot of sharpness on either side.
Shaw wins the draw. Roosevelt shot it. Rinne the save. Good stop with a lurking Shaw. He was right in his grill. And not only the save, but no rebound from Pekka Rinne. That was a fine effort on his part.
Good job there from Andrew Shaw. Not only to get to the net, Pat, but most importantly, win that faceoff. I mean, you're talking about clean. Boy, that changed direction. That is a great look. I'm not sure if it went off of Mike Ribeiro or not, but certainly changed direction. You love the low shot there from Michael Roosevelt. But Andrew Shaw got right to the front of the net. And when you lose the draw in your own zone, it's man on man. The center has the center, and Shaw went right to the net, and Ribeiro let him go. Now let's create a quality chance.
It would have been offside if Cullen touched it, so he let him go. He wisely let it go, and now Roosevelt, who's in his 10th straight game in the Hawks lineup, able to clear it. He'll have to turn right back around and chase it down. Roosevelt ringing this one out to center. It's now chased by Shaw, and maybe he could get a control of that puck that was shot from the other end of the ice. Finally, Shaw jammed it loose. Carcillo took a whack. That's blocked. And into the corner, Shaw got knocked down there. Bickle joins the party. There's a 4-man battle. Bickle tried to slip it in front. It's stolen instead. And the Preds Jones failed to get it out. He'll get a second chance now. Seth Jones got it to Gabriel Bourque. He's got some room for a chip and chase. Ball is clearing attempt, gloved forward by Josi. That's a hand pass, and the whistle stops the play. And Craig Smith and Roosevelt a little, how you doing?
Well, maybe they were talking about what they're going to watch after the game tonight, partner. Well, tonight, watch 2 of the nation's best high school boys basketball teams go head-to-head as Chicago Simeon battles Lancaster in the Chicago Elite Classic tonight at 9:30. Comcast Sportsnet.
Seabrook looks for Saad. He storms into the zone. Saad in the backhand, right to the goal. Slipped in front, open net. What a play! A tap in for Hossa. All made by Brandon Saad. Wow! An explosion up the ice from the power forward. And Hossa finished it. It's 2-0.
Pat, we talked about Brandon Saad in our open. Talking about when he's at his best, he's straight ahead. And it doesn't get any more straight than this. Pretty simple. Straight ahead speed. Goes right around the defender, Josi. Pekka Rinne loses his net, and Marian Hossa is not going to miss that opportunity. What a play. What a goal. The Hawks with a 2-0 lead.
Marian Hossa had just 1 goal in his last 9 games. That's his 4th of the year. And with some of the wonderful chances he's had, I'm sure that's a little bit of a relief after a spectacular setup by his winger on the other side.
Not many better things, partner, than a you, Pat Foley, partner. I'm talking about Craig Baugh, the partner here in Nashville, but nothing better than a backhand pass like that from Brandon Saad. Just a thing of beauty.
Duya took it, but still managed to clear it to center. Taken by Ekholm. Hjalmarsson gets back. Steve didn't seem to know that pass was coming, so the Preds able to get it back. Here comes Nystrom in on Oduya. Backhand shot handled by Darling, and out comes Versteeg. He's got a 3-on-2. Kane rolled it ahead. He tried to run it through his legs to Versteeg for some reason, but it's out of his reach. Nystrom dumped it the other way.
Good finish hit there from Seabrook on Nystrom at the end of a long shift.
Good pass from Keith, finding Nordstrom. He's going to drop it, and Smith shot it. Good blocker stop by Pecorine. Now Ribeiro. With their help from Neal. Reds regroup. Here comes Jones. Hit hard by Nordstrom. The Preds able to maintain the puck. And they get it into the Hog zone. Neal to Ribeiro. He moves in for Neal. James Neal shot from a tough angle, blocked by Keith. Then Forsberg's pass read and stolen by Kruger. Hawks on the counterattack. Kruger has the feed picked off before reaching Keith. Held in Roosevelt. Goes into the corner. Bickle brings it around. Shaw centered it. Quick shot. Blocked. Out in front of the net. And then it went up off the netting. Out of play.
Well, Hawks have really done a good job in the middle of the ice. And Seth Jones has pressure from Smith, and then here comes Joakim Nordstrom getting into the way of Seth Jones and shutting off that play. All Jones is trying to do is get to the red line. But Nordstrom's in a position there, Pat, where he gives him a false sense of security there. And as soon as he's getting to the red line, then he knows he's got him. And he jumped right on him. And, yeah, he took the worst of it, went into the boards. But a good, smart play by Joakim Nordstrom.
23 hits in 9 games credited to the Hawks. Nordstrom, who last night in 11 minutes only had an assist and 3 hits. Very productive evening for the Hawks fourth line winger. Andrew Shaw goes across to Wilson. All his pass missed. Going to go all the way down, icing Chicago.
Well, exercise your right to vote in the 2015 All-Star Fan Vote. Cast your vote for Jonathan Toews, Patrick Kane, Patrick Sharp, Duncan Keith, Brent Seabrook, and Corey Crawford. Every ballot you cast is another chance for you to win a trip to the NHL All-Star Weekend in Columbus. Visit NHL.com. Vote today.
Now the draw. In by the Preds. Fisher rolled it loose, and it just missed Wilson. Carcillo coming out and stripped of it by Craig Smith. Another clearing attempt held into Josi. Looks back to Weber. Here it comes. Good block, Bickle. In behind the Preds. Smith missed it. And Roosevelt not helped to get it out of there. Fisher brings it around. Out comes Shaw. Short of center when he chipped it. Will it get far enough? Yes. Icing Chicago.
Hey, Pat, we want to send out our condolences to the Rich Miller family. Rich was a chief engineer at the old Chicago Stadium as well as at the United Center. He's been retired since 2001 and just recently passed away, so we're certainly thinking about the Rich Miller family.
So timeout Quenneville here after the icing call. 6 minutes into the second period.
Well, join Tommy Hawk at the Life Source Blood Drive on Saturday, December 13th. He believes December 13th is right around the corner from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Westin O'Hare in Rosemont. Donors will have the opportunity for a chance to win Blackhawk tickets, autographed merchandise, and Bobby Hull and Dennis Savard will stop by to thank the donors. Attaboy, Jack. Visit ChicagoBlackhawks.com for more info.
Scott Darling has stopped all 14 shots on net that he's looked at. The Hawks also have 14. here early in period 2. Here's Dahlbeck. Ross Dahlbeck able to bounce it forward. Chased down by Bickle. Arcillo. For help in the corner. Taves in there. Bulldogs able to complete their change after the icing a moment ago. Cullen gets this out. And now here comes Saad for Hossa, who moves into the middle, then shoots. Good pad save by Rinne. Rebound to Taves out of the corner. Stick handles in the middle. The Preds converge. Cullen shot it the other way. Going to be icing Nashville. And Eddie, so far in this game, I got to say, it's hard to know just watching this which team played last night.
Yeah, the Hawks are just right now. I mean, they are the quicker team. Nashville looks out of sorts. There's the opportunity for Marian Hossa. Just scored the second goal of the game. Good rebound control there from Pekka Rinne. And the Hawks are right on top. They're playing on the right side of the puck. But Nashville just not in sync right now.
Reds peel off for a change. Hawks trying to catch him in it, but the bank pass missed. Hossa icing Chicago.
As we know, things can change very quickly, and all of a sudden you get an opportunity, you get a power play, you get the crowd into it, because right now, I mean, it's very, very quiet here in Nashville.
And I'm sure you've been able to notice in the times we've had crowd shots how many red jerseys are here. Of course, there was a time when the Predators tried to, and they made a promotion out of it, keep the red out. But I don't know if they've given up on it. They still don't make it that easy to get tickets from with credit cards from the Chicagoland area. But whatever they've tried hasn't worked, because there's a plethora of Blackhawks fans here, which is usually the case when we come to Music City. Bartley couldn't get that shot through. Good play, Ben Smith. And the Hawks get it out.
I wonder if his nickname is Beef.
Huh, Benny?
Beef Bartley. Got hungry for a second.
Well, I don't blame you. Ribeiro lost it to Nordstrom at center. Here comes Ben Smith into the zone. Left it, Kruger shot it. Oh, the block out in front, Bartley. Now the Predators try to start back. Dumped by Forsberg. And Dahlbeck able to get it out. Now Roosevelt pursued by Nystrom. Roosevelt able to hack it free. Now the Preds. Ekholm with a ring around. Bork kicked it to this side. Roosevelt to Kane. To Versteeg.
Hawks have done a great job there. Anytime the Nashville Predators try to dump the puck in, it's been one and done.
Dahlbeck's going to get sandwiched, but the puck laid there for Roosevelt. He bounced to center. Back in they come. Jokinen couldn't get the shot through Dahlbeck, who made a fine block against the veteran. Kane comes out. Patrick Kane now works his way into the Nashville zone. Kane able to hang on and shoot one. Fought off by Rinne, who thought he had gloved it. Puck came loose. And the Hawks will have to regroup. Roosevelt's been out there for a while in this sequence, and bank pass now finds Shaw. Dropped it to Bickle. His shot goes off a leg. Held in Keith. His attempt blockered away Rinne. Barcelo checked by Weber. Shea Weber came up with a puck. Good play to Josi. They'll get out. Roman Josi crossing the Hawks line. But look at that. All five white sweaters are back. Josi looks to center. Here's a shot. A fluttering shot stopped by Darling, and the Hawks able to get it out. Kind of a weird shot attempt. The puck was rolling as the shot was attempted, and it just Kind of a knuckleball, a changeup. But Darling still stopped. Back there and Taves with a shot. And a save, Rinne. He captured the rebound. The Blackhawks able to double their lead early in the second period after a spectacular setup by Brandon Saad. And set up the Hawks.
Little time now for our Illinois Lottery Anything's Possible statistic. And you see Shea Weber on the left and Keith Yandle on the right, the NHL defensemen who led their teams in scoring each of the last 2 seasons. And the reason why there's such a wide range in point totals from one year to the next, well, that 2012-13 season was a little shorter than normal, but a very good one if you're a Blackhawk fan.
I wonder when the next time a team will play half of a regular season without losing a game. Here's Taves. Now they move in, and Forsberg able to knock it away. Now Hjalmarsson yanked it out to center. Taves picked it up, one side. It rolled across Oduya. Fires! Shot it wide. Held in to Hjalmarsson. Trying to bank it to the front of the net. But the puck eluded a couple of white sweaters there. And Ribeiro settles it down for the home side. Hjalmarsson broke up the rush, though. Taves back in. And Ribeiro. Eddie, we mentioned this top line for Nashville, and Ribeiro, Neal, Forsberg been out there a lot, and a couple of times against the Hawks' so-called fourth line, and not a lot has happened.
They've been pretty much up against the Taves line, and so far so good for Jonathan Taves' line against that line. I wonder if Peter Laviolette, the coach of the Predators, would make a change at some point.
Fisher on a counterattack, shooting, missed the net. And it bounced all the way back to center. Here comes Kane. They're trying to catch him. Kane to the middle, a whack. On a bouncing puck, he golfs it wide. Now the Preds able to get out. Mike Fisher. That is pass broken up Roosevelt. Now Colin Wilson drops it back. A long shot. Ellis kicked away by Darling. And Weber, I should say Fisher's in behind. Taken away by Versteeg. Now Dahlbeck able to hack it into the neutral zone. Let's get back in. Wilson trying to pass it to himself into the corner. Steal by Dahlbeck. And Versteeg with a hoisting backhander. Trying to get a player change.
I would imagine that Dahlbeck's nickname is Santa.
Right, absolutely.
Well, it is now.
It is now.
At least for the next hour and a half. Ooh, look out.
Look out.
That's a penalty there.
Dive of the net as Bartley goes after Bickle here. Bickle had gone awkwardly into the goal. And Bartley trying to do something to get his team stirred up. He and Bickle in close quarters wrestling.
Yeah, Bickle and Jones came together, Pat. That's why the net came off. Bickle was going hard to the net, and it looked like from our vantage point, we're a long ways away. It looked like Jones and Bickle had come together, and that's where Bickle lost his balance. It went crashing into the net. Right part of your screen. Yeah, a little push from behind right there by Seth Jones, Pat. A little bit of a push. And that's what caused a little bit of everything. Well, from our Xfinity telestrator, there's the push from behind by Seth Jones. That's where the penalty happens right there. That's why he goes crashing in to Pekka Rinne. And then Bartley thinks that he ran into him on purpose. He has no idea. And the Hawks have a power play.
Now Kane dropped it back. Richards to Keith. Then Taves. Got Versteeg front of the net. Here's Richards moving in, dropped it to Keith. He comes to Taves with a shot. Never got through. He took a whack. The Preds get it and clear.
Talked about the adjustment here of Brad Richards on this #1 power play unit. More of a passer than a shooter. No Brent Seabrook on this first unit, who was strictly a shoot-the-puck defenseman on the power play.
Richards steps back in, across to Keith. Brad Richards. Put it on the stick of Kane. Now Taves dropped it to Keith. Knocked away from Taves on a bouncing puck, and the Preds able to get it out.
Hey, this game's going, partner. You score here, this game could be over. I mean, the way that it's going. I mean, you know anything can happen, but offside Keith to Taves, but Nashville's had absolutely nothing going on, and you really want to take any thought of the possibility of coming back. Make it 3-0 here.
Although the Hawks, I don't believe, been able to get the puck to the net yet on this opportunity. 45 seconds remaining on it. Second grouping out with Shaw, Saad, Hossa in front of Roosevelt and Seabrook. Now Seabrook goes across the ice. Hossa. And checked in the corner. It squirts loose. The Preds get it. Beck cleared it.
It was a good entry, but just no support for Marian Hossa as he got that puck into the corner.
Now Seabrook coming out. Brent Seabrook's wrist shot blockered aside by Rene. And then golf back to center. Well, this Blackhawks power play really got nothing accomplished in terms of opportunity or momentum. Now they're back to 5 aside. And Josi put on the stick of Jones, fresh out of the box. Nystrom bounced it ahead, picked up Oduya. To Smith. And Smith gets the line. His pass deflecting out to the neutral area. And Ellis has to turn back. And it's cleared into the Blackhawk end. Oduya captures. They bounce away from Ellis and out. Here's Ribeiro.
Good shot there by Oduya on Neal, taking away time and space.
Neal wants to just try to fire a 50-footer. That's stopped easily by Darling. Then back to the other end, icing Chicago.
Well, time now for our AT&T U-verse upcoming schedule. Well, after the game tonight, the Hawks will jump on their charter and head back home, and then back on the road again. Devils, Bruins, and the Islanders.
And in this sequence starting tonight, here's a quick shot stopped by Darling. But including these next 4 games, 2 division leaders and a total of 23 games over 500 for the next 4 games the Hawks play. So I'll tell you, the way they've answered the challenge that's been presented to them so far tonight, this has been, I mean, close to dominance, I would call it. Here's the Taves with a spinorama maneuver. Taken by Versteeg, back to Keith. He finds Seabrook. Then Kane. Patrick Kane brings it around. Craig Smith missed on a clearing attempt. And again, they fail to get it out. Taves for Versteeg. Quick shot, that's blocked and deflects out of play. So the Blackhawks having things their way for the most part here in Nashville, but late in the second, it's still just a 2-goal lead.
Well, welcome back to Nashville. Time for our Hyundai. What to look for, and you see the goal differential for the Hawks so far this season. Outstanding in the first period. A little bit better in the third period. And it's been a tough time in the second period, but so far so good here in Nashville.
All right, here's the draw. Oduya fires a long one. Rene kicks it aside to Ellis. And then Cullen a long backhand pass. Oh, we had Beck breaking with the pass missed, and now Taylor Beck. Good poke check by Darling. Puck came back in front, and a good keep by Ekholm. Here's Cullen working against Rosabal. Cullen threw it out in front. Nobody there for the Preds. A steal by Versteeg.
Get hit by Dahlbeck on Cullen after he made that play.
The pass finds Kane. He steps into the zone. Kane drives the net, shooting. A stop attempt denied by Rene. It came loose to Versteeg, who rolled it back Rosabal. Now Richards looks to the middle, could not connect with Versteeg, who takes over. Dropped it out to Oduya's long shot, and a good look from Rene at that one.
A good outlet pass there from Brad Richards to Patrick Kane, and Kane are trying to go top shelf, and then the quick little swing of the stick. Every time I see that play there, Pat, I always think of Billy Smith. Think of Marty Brodeur.
Yeah.
Sometimes Billy Smith would do it even if he didn't have the puck. He's looking to make you a little shorter when he used to go swinging that stick around. Good play there from Scott Darling.
Saad threw it to the middle. It's picked off by Rene. Brandon Saad, who has figured in both Blackhawk goals tonight. He scored the first one, and a spectacular setup to Marian Hossa on the second one. And his skating on that play, and I'll just say, I don't think I've seen him explode up the ice at any point this year the way he did right there. That was really impressive.
It looked like he was shot right out of a cannon there, no question.
He was busting like Olchek used to. Forsberg, good poke check there, Chalmerson. Neal tried to center, broken up by the skate of Oduya. Held in Weber. Taken away side, he cleared to center. Now Philip Forsberg could not get around Shaw. Here's Saad hustling in. He's going to save icing. And then Saad finally got wrapped up in the corner. Yossi cleared to center. Here's Mike Ribeiro to Roman Yossi. Going to drop it, Neal to Yossi, cutting in, trying to take a look in front, then a quick shot. Good blocker by Darling. He wasn't sure where it had gone. Keith captured the rebound. And Keith put it on the stick of Seabrook. And the Hawks waltz out. Here's a pass ahead for Ben Smith. He's greeted by Ellis. Now taken by Fisher. He's able to clear it out. Here's a Darling way out of the net. His clearing attempt nearly picked off, but instead it's Nordstrom the other way. Into the zone, Taves. Dropped it to Nordstrom, and he was going to change, though. We're in the final minute now of period 2. A steal, Hossa on the counterattack. He drives and shoots. Partial block, and it just dribbled to Rene, who's able to cover it up. But that's the two-way play that you see on a nightly basis from Marian Hossa, with defense leading to offense.
Well, what a play by Ryan Ellis. And for all you young hockey players out there, the quick transition of Marian Hossa. Watch the defense here of Ryan Ellis. Look at where this stick is. I mean, that defense denies the opportunity for Marian Hossa. But that quick transition, defense to offense, create a chance. But sometimes you got to tip your helmet to the other side there. And Ellis did a heck of a job there staying with Marian Hossa. Talk about exploding through the middle of the ice there to generate that chance. There you see Marian Hossa tapping the pads of Brian Bickle as he was just let out of the penalty box, and every single member of the Blackhawk bench there, Pat, was standing up, tapping the boards when Brian Bickle came to the bench, and give him a acknowledgement there for dropping the gloves and getting involved.
Chalmerson trying to bank it out in front. A good stick, Rene. Now Saad. Got squeezed to the boards. Taves got in there. Dropped it out to Chalmerson. And look at the Hawks just beating the Predators to almost all these loose pucks. Saad's got it now. He left it for Chalmerson. Moves towards the middle. A long wrist shot. Hit traffic in front. And the Preds able to bat it back to center. And that's going to finish the second period. Meanwhile, a stare down with Nystrom and Saad. They got together right in front of Pekka Rinne. The period has ended.
Well, Saad took the shot, Pat. It hit him, and he went down. And then Eric Nystrom just drilled Brandon Saad as he was getting up. And he's getting a earful from the Blackhawk bench. Watch in front of the net. Saad gets knocked down, no problem. Now Saad's going to be getting back up, and right there, he gives him a shot, and then Hossa comes in, grabs the stick of Nystrom out of the way. Nystrom trying to fire up his team. Good job by the Blackhawks not to react there and take a penalty. The Hawks with a good first two periods, partner.
Second time in the period where the Predators, who've been badly outplayed, try to generate momentum with physicality. Bartley did it earlier. The only goal of period two, that one right there. What a setup from Saad to Hossa. The Hawks outshoot the Preds 12-7 in the second. They've got a 2-goal lead. Welcome back to Music City, USA. You see the Hawks will take a 2-goal lead into the third period. Before that happens, we get a chance to talk to assistant coach Mike Kitchen. He's brought to us tonight by Pace Madison Stadium Express. I don't know what the chance count is, Kitch. To me, this has been an awfully impressive 40 minutes against a rested team that you're trying to catch for first place. Is there anything in your team's game that has been troublesome for you? It looks like you've been playing awfully well tonight.
Well, I like their energy right from the start of the game. We played really well. We've had short shifts. We're trying to turn them over quickly where we outchange them. But the other thing is one area we can improve on is our neutral zone. We can't turn a puck over against these guys. These guys are a quick counter team, and they're an offensive team, and they want to play that run and gun game. So we got to make sure we got to turn their D. They always, very often, they have three players across the blue line there looking for those turnovers, and they want to counter the other way. So we got to get it back down in behind their D.
Where you had a real good goal in that second period, Kitch, a transition game, and Brandon Saad looked like he was shot out of a cannon through the middle of the ice. Just talk about his play as of late. Seems like he's gaining some traction and confidence as of late.
Well, as you know, Eddie, like any offensive player, you get a goal, and then he's just taken off from that. He got a goal last night, and now he's going again. Like, it's the best I've seen him skate. Maybe in his career here, but that move he got made to Hossa there was unbelievable. He did it full stride, and he came right in there. I love when he's got his feet moving. I mean, he's a dangerous player. He's a power forward, going in there, making plays, and taking the puck to the net.
All right, appreciate a couple minutes, Kitch. Good luck here in the third.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Kitch.
So the Hawks looking to surge past the Nashville Predators in the Central Division standings. They came in 1 point behind with the game in hand, by the way. Excuse me, the Predators have a game in hand. But now underway here in the third.
And this third period is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. And we'd like to welcome those watching in on CSN Northwest.
Hossa finds Taves. He moves in. His pass was intended for Saad, but deflected, and Ribeiro gets it back into the Hawk zone. Here's Josi, a shot right on. Good save. Roman Josi got a lot of that. He was drifting left, shot it back right. Good save. Darling.
Except for that one sequence, Pat, back in the first period. Remember the shot from Fisher, and then the Predators had a couple of looks?
Yeah.
It's been a lot of one and done.
Yep.
And they've had a couple of quality chances, but Hawks have done a really good job, and the majority of them have been from far out on the Chicago native Scott Darling.
Reds get the draw. Now here's a long range shot. They score! Face-off with Nashville. A bad angle shot went in, I think, just under the bar. Colin Wilson has cut the Hawks lead in half.
Well, goal number 6. Face-off, right part of your screen. Face-off win. From far out, Darling down and top shelf over the shoulder. Not sure, Pat, if he was screened by Hjalmarsson. Looked like the screen might have been a little bit too far out, but he was down and went right over the left shoulder, and we got ourselves a game now.
Rene was going to play that, sort of fumbled a little bit, so we'll take a draw on his own end. But the Predators, I mean, this is the first time I had the sense at any point in the game where the home team might have a little momentum.
Yeah.
So now these next few shifts become very important for the visitors. Richards and Fisher ready. Preds get the draw. But it's kept in Kane. Wins it in behind. Ekholm came up with it for Nashville. Couldn't get it out. Pass in front for Kane to the back end. Oh, good stick by Ellis. Prevented a shot attempt. And the Preds get it out. Now Kane back the other way to Keith. Pass towards the middle, deflecting. And the Preds, Cullen tapped it in. Roosevelt bothered by Cullen, but the Hawks able to clear their end. Now it's taken by the home side. They dump it in. Marcillo pressured by a pinching Ekholm. Now Hawks get it back, and Dahlbeck moved it out to Carcillo. Rene sweeps it around the boards. And the Preds will have to regroup with Jones. And they'll dump it in. Dahlbeck got sandwiched in behind. Loose puck to Hjalmarsson. Then Hossa gonna ring it around, looking for side. They'll let it go out to center. Hjalmarsson put it into the neutral area. And a dump in from Weber.
Trying to get the puck in your offensive zone right now.
Weber bounced it in behind the Hawks net. Nice check there. Puck loose in front to Hossa. He muscled it out to center with help from side. Josi quickly back in, trying to catch Lawson and change. Nystrom shot, never got through. Roman Josi for Nashville. Looks to James Neal. He rolled it back. Ribeiro put it to the line. A long shot. Good block out in front by Smith. Now here's Ribeiro. Fires! Blocker save by Darling, and it's out of play.
Well, the Predators are coming, and after the goal from Colin Wilson, they've got a little jump in their step, little energy in the building from the Predator fans. A beautiful block shot there from Ben Smith off the stick of Seth Jones, and then Scott Darling does a good job there getting a blocker on that chance from Mike Ribeiro.
Face-off win there for the Hawks. The clearing attempt picked up by Nordstrom to get it out. It was knocked down with a high stick, so a whistle.
Well, the official Blackhawks Road Watch is next Tuesday at Hooters in Aurora. Fans will enjoy a Blackhawks home game experience, and the first 100 fans who arrive will receive a Blackhawks giveaway, as well as the ice crew raffling off autographed prizes. For more info, visit ChicagoBlackhawks.com.
Now, wait a minute. That's at Hooters, and the Ice Girls are going to be... Save a seat for Rossi!
That is where
something's got to give. All right, here comes Jones. Could not get it deep, but a Keith clear held in Wilson. His pass missed. Now Seabrook. A bank pass intended for Kane. He was well covered. Preds again, keep it in. Here's a shot. Fisher, good save, rebound. Oh, and it just jumped over Wilson's stick. That could have been a tying goal, but Wilson got a bad bounce. Back comes Kane. Centered it. Keith, a shot is blocked out in front. Fisher. And Eddie called it a moment ago. The Predators are coming. The Hawks need a couple of decent shifts in the offensive zone to slow things down here.
Some line juggling going on by the Nashville Predators as well. That last line's the line that scored the goal. Fisher, Smith, and Wilson.
Shea Weber's clearing attempt held in by Hossa. He got it back in front. Bouncing puck just jumped over the stick. Offside. Then O'Duya shot blocked. Came on goal. Rene a diving save. Pekka Rene, huge stop. That puck then deflected up off the netting. It's out of play. And we'll get another look at the Hawks' attempt to extend the lead.
Boy, Johnny O'Duya did a really good job here, Pat, of keeping this play alive. Looked like it was a bouncing puck from our vantage point. Yeah, right at the blue line there, and there you see Jonathan Toews standing right in front of the net. Boy, that's a terrific stop there from Rene. As you can see, it was deflected.
Back checked as he got to the line. Roosevelt. He eluded two forecheckers there. Nice move, Roosevelt, and he moved to that. Good kick to the stick. Hossa, he gets in, looking for Saad. Just out of his reach, it goes to Rene instead.
Get well wishes to Jenny Nabstick out there in Morris, Illinois. Sending her our best thoughts and wishes in the near future.
Marian Hossa with 10 points in his last 10 games, including a goal tonight, which at the moment is the difference in the game. It was a brilliant Brandon Saad setup that gave him the chance. And the Hawks looking to spend a little more time here in the zone to our left. And to your left as you look at it, because the Preds have had their best 5 minutes of the game here to open the third period.
A little juggling going on by Coach Q himself right now. Shaw, Kane, and Bickle.
Reds clear it to center. Ellis dumped it. Throws the ball back. Fired it up an open wing. That's held in. Now Shaw out of the corner. Couldn't pick it up. Portman's shot went wide. It bounced to the line. Held in Ellis. Threw it around the boards. Jokinen left it there. Nystrom. He's checked. Jokinen helped out. Now it's dropped back. And a centering pass picked off by Shaw. And it's cleared ahead to Bickle. He put it on the stick of Kane. Patrick Kane hangs on. Spins out of the corner. Here's Seabrook. His long blast. Never got past Bork. Picked up by Kane. He then was stripped of it. And a corner battle here. Finally, the Preds get control. Ellis coming out. Here's Nystrom into the zone. That's an offside play as Jokinen moved in way too early. 6 minutes gone by in the third. Nashville back in the battle, down one. We promised it earlier. Here it is, Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite.
Well, there's Brandon Saad, and talking about being shot right out of a cannon, coming right through the middle of the ice, straight ahead, and makes a beautiful backhand pass over to Marian Hossa, who has the wide open net, and you see the reaction from Big Hoss to that man right there.
Seabrook's long pass is tipped in. Hawks changing quickly here. And then the bad pass missed Craig Smith. This is going to be icing Nashville.
Well, Tuesday, the Hawks will hit the ice to take on the New Jersey Devils. Chevy Hawks pregame live begins at 5:30 right here on CSN.
So Richards and Fisher will go for this draw. I think Fisher Just came back into the Nashville lineup for the last 4 games after an Achilles tendon injury that kept him off for a long, long time when a welcome return for the Preds. Here's Keith. Weber got it back. Josi. They dump it in. Corner battle, and Keith able to win the puck. Nice pass to the middle. The Hawks waltz outside. They're going to go wide. He got away from Weber. He shoots. Good save by Rene, who came out to challenge the bid. And the skating legs of Saad are the best they've been all season long here tonight. Back come the Preds. A dump and retrieved by Oduya. And Hossa has some skating room. Marian Hossa with a ring around. And it came back to him in behind. Put it in front. Saad. And a save. Maybe a shot block. Not sure if that got all the way to Rene. Might have been a shot block before it reached the netminder. Here's Taves moving in front with a shot. And a save down low was Rene. Picked up Hossa. Great shift here for the Taves line. Long pass for Chalmerson. Then Saad. Saad's feed didn't have much on it. It's picked off. Ribeiro cleared it. They dump it in. Oduya clears to center. Here's Bickle into the zone. Shaw for the net. The pass tip. And the redirect from Shaw just missed. He gets it back. Spins it out. Roosevelt the shot. Hit a leg in front of the rim. Oh, what a save. Rene on Bickle. And Rene fully outstretched for the right pad. A terrific close-in stop. And the Preds look to counterattack. Beck with a ring around. Roosevelt. Couldn't get it out. Bouncing puck to the corner. Taylor Beck got together with Roosevelt. Hawks win the puck. And out comes Dahlbeck. Lost Dahlbeck to Brian Bickle. And now they work on the wall. Dug out of their Shaw. He drives. Poke check by Rene, who wound up in the back of the net. But the stuff attempt by Kane still denied. And the Preds get it out. A steal away from Seabrook. Here's Craig Smith with a backhander, well off the mark. Preds were changing, so he didn't really have any help there, Smith. Now Craig Smith again had it knocked away. Fisher. In for Smith. He tried to center the pass deflecting. They hack and whack a shot. Stopped by Darling. Point blank chance as all of a sudden the stick of Fisher was loose and he had the puck on it. Close in. He fired quickly. Darling beat him.
Well, there's that makeshift line for the Predators. Came together here in the third period, and they've been the best line for the Predators. Smith, Wilson, and Fisher. A little bit earlier, the opportunity, Michael Roosevelt, saved by Pecorine, and a good opportunity there for Brian Bickle. And that was the makeshift line of Joel Quenneville, with Shaw, Kane, and Bickle creating that chance.
Clearing attempt is held in. Nordstrom bounced it. It's a good keep. Jones, his shot, though blocked Oduya. And a try by Fisher, and that's handled by Darling.
Hey, Pat, you were mentioning Mike Fisher, originally a member of the Ottawa Senators, and now here in Nashville for the last 4+ seasons. And we got a lot of music fans. Probably have heard the name Carrie Underwood.
You don't have to be a music fan to know that.
That's Mike Fisher's wife. They're about to have their first child coming up here real soon.
Long shot lever, fought off by Darling. Not a pretty looking save, but he made it. The rebound cleared in behind. Then a shot hit Darling in the side, picked up by Saad. Brandon Saad dumped it in. This line, Saad, Hossa, and Taves. The Hawks in the game have had 27 shots. This line has 11 of them. And now they work into the corner. Puck came loose to the Preds. They'll get out. Here's Weber. Into the corner. Josi. Roman Josi dropped it back to Weber. Trying to bank it to the front. Here's a pass right through the goal mouth from Neal and miss. Here's a shot. That's blocked to Weber. He's going to look to Neal. Instead, it's stolen away by Toews. Who cleared it the other way. The race for icing. Versteeg hustling. No whistle. Good hustle by Chris Versteeg. Allowing the Hawks to change him up. He threw it in front. Oh, and a kind of a tweener pass. Caught Kane. And the Preds able to get it back. Philip Forsberg weaves to the middle. Lost the puck. And it's cleared by Hjalmarsson. To Richards. Into the zone. Brad Richards, a wrist shot. Glove save. Rinne holding. Just under 9 minutes to go in regulation. 2-1 in favor of the Hawks.
2-1 lead for the Hawks. 8:45 left to go in the third period. Scott Darling in goal. This was the best sequence of the game back in that first period for the Nashville Predators. But when they've had their opportunities, Darling's been there to be able to answer the call, and with the Predators really coming since the first goal of the game by Colin Wilson, Scott Darling has been a much busier goaltender here in the third period.
Ryan Roosevelt got spun around, able to advance it. And Ellis comes out for the Preds. There's pressure from Kane. Finally, Ekholm will not connect on his pass attempt. Matthias Ekholm to Ryan Ellis. The Preds get it in deep. Dahlbeck around the boards. Kane let it go the other way. Hawks changing him up quickly.
Good to see Dahlbeck getting some opportunities.
Yeah.
Making the game.
I'm sorry we ran out of time with Mike Kids, because I wanted to ask the defensive coach about his impressions of the young man at his first NHL game, but you said it. He's out here in a one full game, getting to the late stages of the third. They're liking what they're seeing.
Exactly.
Yeah. Here's a chance for Kruger. Centered it. It got to Rinne. Then a shot. Rinne, a point-blank save. I believe Smith had a whack. Now the puck to the boards. Dug out Smith. And Smith checked by Seth Jones. And a couple of others join in. Puck squirts loose. A pinching Keith kept it in there. Now Nordstrom got pushed aside by Craig Smith. He gets it out. Here come the Preds. Jokinen looking to drive. He got to the net, or Wilson did. Good poke check by Darling. Puck came back to Jones. His long shot. Good save, Darling. And he quickly swept it to the board. Great hand movement by Scott Darling after that first save. A very quick reaction to get rid of a loose puck. Now this is going to be icing Chicago, which gives us a chance to look at some real quick movement by Scott Darling.
Well, as you mentioned, Pat, Colin Wilson was a guy that took the puck hard in net to create that original chance, and then Seth Jones with an opportunity from that blue line position. Good reaction. Talk about an athletic save there. No question.
There's going to be icing Chicago. So we shouldn't be surprised, probably with about 7 minutes left. It's a 2-1 game. Both these teams are best in the NHL in terms of team goals against average. The Blackhawks and the Preds best in the NHL, so you have to figure that a game like this would not be a high-scoring affair. It hasn't been, but there's certainly been a few more chances in the game that a 2-1 count would indicate. So that's how good Rinne and Darling have been. All right, Kruger dumped it. And Weber put it on the stick of Ribeiro, who's forced to stop at center. Cleared it ahead. Forsberg threw it to the middle, picked off Oduya. Forsberg got it back. Toews checked him. And Toews won the puck. Here's a 2-on-1. Hossa has Saad with him. He's going to try to dish. Hossa now has to shoot it. And a save by Rinne. Rebound cleared to the deep, played the 2-on-1, forcing Hossa to shoot exactly what a defenseman wants to do. You don't want that cross-ice pass to force the goalie to move. Great play by the defender. But you knew when Hossa got the puck, he was looking to set upside who had given him a tap in earlier. Right now a pass in front, shot, good save by Darling, a lucky bounce. Found Nystrom, he fired it quickly. Kane battles on the other end, Kane up the middle, and from behind Ekholm, able to strip him momentarily. He gets it back, Kane. Now turns in the corner, helped by Bickle. And the puck taken away finally by the Preds. Ellis banks it out to center. Roosevelt check Bourque. In behind it goes. Nystrom there. Threw it out in front. Bouncing to Bourque. Turns, shoots, missed the net. Rebound picked up by Bickle. He hoists it back the other way. It's going to go far enough for icing Chicago, and the timeout has already been used by Quenneville.
About the 6 or 7 icing call against the Blackhawks, but that's okay. Just make sure you get the puck out of the zone. As you mentioned, Pat, that puck was slowed up as Nystrom took that opportunity. And from our WeatherTech RoboCam, you called it, partner, the great play along the boards by Jonathan Toews, 2-on-1. That's Shea Weber that comes all the way across, doesn't allow that passing lane to develop. Missed opportunity there for Hossa inside.
This puck does get out. Hawks trying to make some changes on the move. Preds miss on a pass. Now that's icing Nashville. So the Hawks can complete the changes that they wanted. And we'll get an offensive zone draw.
There's Craig Smith, former member of the United States Hockey League, where he played for the Waterloo Blackhawks. He's still finding his way in the National Hockey League, Pat. They tried him at center for a period of time. I think he's the type of guy that will stay on the right side. All he needs to worry about is playing a 145, 150-foot game with that tremendous speed he has.
Had 7 goals this year, so off to a pretty decent start for the Predators offensively. A keep by Keith. Got a man down, put it to Richards. He shoots one, just missed the far post. And it bounced all the way out. Richards scooped it ahead. Yossi chased it down for the Preds. The Hawks change quickly, down to 4 minutes remaining in regulation. Yossi threw it deep. Now Oduya mounts it to center ice. Neal turns for Nashville. James Neal into the zone. Good stick by Hjalmarsson, knocked it free. Neal gets it back. Spins it out to the line. Here's Jones. Dropped it to Ekholm, a long shot. Never got to the target. Kruger bounced it out. It did get all the way out, though, and another chance. Hjalmarsson, he failed to clear. And the Preds get it to Neal. Quick shot. Just missed. Held in Ekholm. Put it across to Jones. Out of the corner, Neal, a shot. That's tipped off the stick of Oduya. And again, the Preds keep it in. A chance for Hjalmarsson. He'll hoist it to finally get it out of the third. Hawks chance to do so. Back in they come. Jones. Had it taken away by Seabrook. And it bounced out of the zone away from Weber. Down to 3 minutes remaining. And listen to the crowd coming to life here in the Bridgestone Arena. It's a Let's Go Hawks chant from all the red, white, and black clad fans here in attendance. And there are thousands of them. Hossa able to get that out of the Chicago end. Yossi back. Now Weber in for Fisher, who gets the line. Fisher up the middle, stripped by Keith. He had a blowout, but still made the clearing attempt, and Shaw got it out. Here comes Versteeg, who pulls up. Chris Versteeg along, wrist shot. Oh, and an awkward move by Rene, but it's sailed up high.
I think he was looking to head that one.
That's kind of what it looked like, yeah. Down to 2 minutes remaining in the third. Yossi picks his way into the zone. Yossi's shot block came in front, a loose puck. Darling kicked it aside, and Ben Smith got rid of it. Now Kruger's racing. Ellis has to hurry. He did. Nice play, Ryan Ellis. And now the Hawks, Kruger bounced it deep. And we get down to 100 seconds remaining in the third period. 2-1 in favor of the Hawks. Here's Forsberg, walking away by Darling. There goes Rene to the bench. 6 attackers, Nashville. It's loose, hacked away from Neal. Now bounce to the boards, held in. Beck couldn't get it to the middle. Picked off Taves. His clearing attempt is held in. And now another chance for Keith. He'll get it out of there to center. The Preds, a steal by Hossa, heading for the empty net. Hawks win! Hawks win! 71 seconds to go. Marian Hossa gets his second of the game with an empty net after a strip at center ice again for 81. Defense leads to offense, and the Hawks up 2.
Well, probably in the last 3 to 4 minutes, the Hawks not able to get pucks out of the zone. Some by their own misfortune, but sometimes bad just off the glass and taking a bad bounce. And there you see Big Haas putting it into the wide open net. But those blue lines become so important. Got to get the puck in at the far blue line, and you got to get it out. And if you ice it, you ice it. And Marian Hossa has given the Hawks a 2-goal cushion. As you mentioned, partner, $1:11 left to go here in the third.
So timeout Nashville as the Predators try to figure out a way to get some chances against the Chicago net.
Well, time now for our Kia drives to the net. Take a look at each goal scored by the Hawks. Brandon Saad, beautiful play by Duncan Keith. The Hawks with their first goal of the game, and then Brandon Saad with his beautiful plays you're going to see all around, sets up Marian Hossa, and then Haas. Fortunate bounce, puts it into the wide open net. The Hawks with a 2-goal lead with $1:11 left.
All right, the draw to the Preds. Weber cleared it ahead. There goes Rene to the bench again. 6 attackers, Nashville. Yossi got to the line. A bouncing puck. Forsberg trying to reach it. Final minute of the third. You got to dump this one in. Hjalmarsson. Now it's cleared up the boards, and from his prone position, Taves able to sweep it to center. That's an offside play as the Preds tried to move back in.
And Roman Yossi, a little bit of a toe pick there. Joel Quenneville keeps Marian Hossa out on the ice here, Pat, with 2 goals. Puts Kruger and Nordstrom out on the ice. Hoping that Big Haas can cap off the HT. Unnatural.
All right, the draw. Picked up by Weber. Now they send it in. Half a minute to go. Seabrook taken away by Forsberg. And the Hawks able to clear it back the other way. It's not going to get far enough for the whistle. Now picked up by Weber. We're down to 10 left, and the Chicago Blackhawks have now blown by the Nashville Predators and taken the lead in the Central Division away from Nashville. A penalty coming here with 4 seconds left.
I think it's Ribeiro, Pat, from behind on Nordstrom. Should probably just run the clock here.
It looks like that's what Danny O'Halloran wants to do. Yes, he's waving this game over. A 2-goal lead with 4.3 left. He's calling a penalty, and he must have seen a few other things besides this penalty to tell him that it's time to call a halt to the proceedings. And Scott Darling picks up the victory with 32 saves tonight. And the Blackhawks move a point ahead of the Predators, who have a game in hand in the standings with their 6th consecutive win this evening.